Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I did an update on the miniature train company G12. It got to be wintertime, it got to be cold, and as you can see, my barn is not insulated. So I don't like to work out here in the cold. I work in my basement, which I got a couple really cool projects that will be coming out soon that I've been working on all winter long. But now it's summertime, it's warm out. I want to get this G12 running, and so I'm going to give you an update of what we've done so far. So let's check it out. So I had a fuel tank fabbed up, or not a fuel tank, I made a hydraulic oil tank. I got fabbed up. I've got to get a plug for this side, and then I'm going to 3D print a breather for here. The normal hydraulic breathers stick up too tall and will be above the hood line. So I'm going to 3D print a small little breather cap for that. I got a battery installed, I got it wired, and we also got it hydraulically plumbed. Let's turn around here. So you can see coming out of the tank, we have our main supply hose that comes down to the pump. That's mounted off the back of this Briggs & Stratton 10 horsepower engine. Then coming out of the hydraulic pump, comes over to the main control valve, sort of like a log splitter valve. And so it's coming in the bottom of this valve. Two hoses go down to our hydraulic motor, which has a train drive to our main drive shaft. And then coming back out of the valve is a return. We're filtering that oil before it goes back into the tank. So I want to keep our hydraulic system nice and clean. But on this drive shaft, then I'll have the front shaft that goes up to the front truck that will mount right there, which here's the part for that. The other half of that, I need to get a key in and attach that there. And then the shaft that will go for the truck into the slip yoke. Then coming off the back, we kind of got the same thing there. Let me get this dash out of the way, where this drive shaft will hook up to this main drive shaft here. I have them unhooked for now for testing purposes, just to make sure as I start this engine up, it doesn't drive off the tracks, because it's kind of sitting on a stand on some sawhorses, so I really don't want it to move. So keep those unhooked. But really happy with that. It turns out I had both drive shafts hooked up today and working. I kind of had to Rube Goldberg custom fab and exhaust. I really don't have a really small... I don't have a tubing bender for those smaller diameters and that shorter radiuses. All of our tubing benders are really big stuff. So it looks crude and ugly. At some point in time, I'm going to have a custom exhaust made, because it's actually still kind of loud. I kind of got that real cheap lawnmower, goat cart exhaust coming out the side. But that's for another day. The fuel tank also doesn't fit. The factory fuel tank won't fit in here on its existing mounts. And if you'll notice, it's too tall. By the time I change this to mount it up where it fits, it'll stick above the hood. So I'm going to build a custom fuel tank, but for now we'll be real nice and safe, and we'll just set this on these hydraulic hoses. So I want to start this thing up and let you see it. I do have it wired to the battery, but I don't have it wired to the dash yet. I had I custom designed my own dash and had it laser cut by a company called Oshcut. Did a fabulous job on this. So you got the miniature train logo in there. I'm wanting to put LED light the backside of it. Got a spot for a voltmeter gauge, and then a key switch, or a toggle switch, turn it on and off like your kill switch, a push button start switch, and I can't remember what I put the other one for, but put a couple extra things in there. But then I got two spots over here for a horn and a lights, and then circuit breakers for the horn and the lights. And then I made a spot here for a USB charger, because I know I'll be playing with my phone on here while I'm driving. And so I want to be able to have a USB auxiliary power. And that dash will mount somewhere up in there like that, kind of give you that nice look as you're sitting down in here. I still have to get the throttle linkage hooked up. So I will be hooking the throttle up to the existing lever here to control the throttle. The other side, I was going to hook up to the hydraulic lever, but it's actually, this is a very flimsy slide, and I don't think after going through the turnbuckles, I'm not going to have enough strength on this to stroke the hydraulic valve. And so I'm going to make a linkage that goes from here all the way back to here, and I'll just have a custom lever mounted down below that'll push forward and back for forward and reverse. You'll notice there is no brakes in this. The hydraulics are going to be our brakes. When you stop that motor's going to stop, and which will stop the drive shaft. So let me get the key out for this, and we'll start this up so you guys can hear it. So here's my key. So that was kind of loud. I've got a lot of stuff just kind of metal sitting here, vibrating, clanging. I will potentially look at mounting that engine a little differently. I've got it mounted, if you can see down there, on some rubber. I got a piece of a rubber conveyor building that I got it mounted on there. We'll see how that works. I might change that, but overall, I am super excited the way it is. If I would have had a full day today, this would have been, I could have buttoned up a few more little things and put it on the track to test out. You notice I got all my cars over there. We got the observation car there in the middle, and then we got our 2 passenger cars. I do need to service all the trucks, grease them. The drive trucks, I need to get gear oil in, get them lubed up. I checked them out. The gears all look pretty good. My front drive truck, actually, there's a front axle and a rear axle. You can see in here. And there's a connecting rod that connects the 2 drive shafts, and the front one is disconnected, so it's only powering off the rear. So I'll need to tear that apart and see what's going on there. So there's some maintenance that needs to be done to this, but you can see my pile of track. I got basically 2 stacks of straights, and then I got my 90s over there to make my turn. It's supposed to be 660 feet of track, which the long-term goal is to put in a permanent track here in the ground and then keep those as a mobile track to take around. So really excited. Stay tuned for some more updates and progress here over the next couple weeks to month, and hopefully this summer we'll be driving this train out and about. So thanks for watching. You guys have a good evening.